In 1973, a shipbuilder from Cleveland named George M. Steinbrenner III bought the once mighty New York Yankees from CBS. He vowed not to interfere with his team and then could not keep his hands off it. He was the first owner to embrace free agency, stunning the baseball world by paying big money for big players like Catfish Hunter. By 1976, he had bought himself a pennant winner.
Walks to the plate.
His club was led by a former Yankee second baseman, best remembered for his belligerence on and off the field, Casey Stengel's protege, Billy Martin.
Billy Martin proved what a powerful strategic tool paranoia is. He believed that everyone was against him, and so he spent every waking moment figuring out how imaginary enemies could be defeated in their nefarious plots. And sometimes he not only created strategies to defend against things that would never be done against him, but realized that those attacks were in themselves novel, and he would then try those attacks that he had already dreamed up a defense for. That's why he was so wonderful at suicide bunts and double steals and any way that you could humiliate or psychologically defeat the other team. He was sure that's how the world reacted to him. He was sure the world hated him. And so he turned that really raw, frightening paranoia into wonderful strategic intelligence.
The Yankees lost the 1976 series to Cincinnati, but won the championship from Los Angeles the next year, powered by a quartet of sluggers. Chris Chambliss, Greg Nettles, Thurman Munson, and the flamboyant former Oakland star who cheerfully called himself the straw that stirs the drink.
Reggie Jackson's late season performances, Mr. October, that's really deserved. No one brought a greater intensity to significant games than Reggie. I kept thinking he was not going to be able to do it again, but he almost never failed.
Jackson with 4 runs batted in. There's a fly ball to center field and deep. That's going to be way back, and that's going to be gone. Reggie got it.
In Game 6 of the 1977 World Series, he hit 3 home runs on 3 consecutive swings of his bat off 3 different pitchers, something no other player has ever done. Baseball had not seen such a brash self-promoter since Dizzy Dean. "I didn't come to New York to be a star," Jackson said. "I brought my star with me."
You would walk past Reggie before a game, and there'd be a crowd of writers around him, and he would be talking in religious terms. His voice would sound like a preacher. And then you'd come back 5 minutes later, and he would be talking to a different crowd, and he'd saying, "I get to have the same figures that Lee May has, but I get all this money because I put the asses in the seats." The same man 2 minutes later.
Will you pray the day before the playoffs?
Well, I'll pray every day. I try to talk to God through Jesus Christ every day, and I will pray during the national anthem, which is my period of meditation for praying. No, really, if you stick around the game, you listen to an old veteran like me, I'll show you how to talk on the air, boy. Yeah, talk, to TV. No, really, TV, cameras and going on, shit like that. Huh? I'm telling you, man, I'll show you how to make a living with this stuff. I'll show you how to have the people eating right out of here.
Yeah.
2 outs and 2 on. The Red Sox lead at 2-0 in the 7th inning here at Fenway. Deep to left. Yastrzemski will not get it. It's a home run.
In 1978, Steinbrenner's Yankees came from 14 games behind and then beat the Red Sox in a dramatic and for Boston fans excruciating one-game playoff to win the division title. It was the greatest comeback in American League history.
And a happy Bucky Dent.
New York then took the World Series from the Dodgers. But Steinbrenner was not satisfied. He continued to tinker with his team. The following year, they dropped to fourth. For the next 15 years, despite his frantic efforts to turn things around, the Yankees, the winningest team in baseball history, could not win the World Series.
Steinbrenner did something no one thought possible, and that is wreck the Yankees franchise. It's astonishing. They had a wonderful tradition, terrific farm system, the largest market, a cash flow that would, you would think, finance excellence even if you weren't real smart. He took all those advantages and wrecked the franchise.
He feuded with his best players, was quick to cast them off when they didn't perform to his expectations, and interfered constantly with his managers. During his first 17 years as chief executive, he replaced his managers 17 times. Billy Martin alone was hired and fired 5 different times. George Steinbrenner became the most hated man in baseball since Walter O'Malley moved the Dodgers to Los Angeles.
Like many people, he fooled himself that he could arrange for success, he could guarantee it. And when that didn't happen, he really lost track of the whole thing. He didn't really want to let his ball players play the games. He didn't want to put them out on the field and wait and see what happens. He wanted to impose his will, and in doing that, he got between us and the players. I always had the feeling at Yankee Stadium that he was standing up in front of me, and I was looking at George Steinbrenner, and I wanted to see the Yankees instead.